This video is brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino.
Talking Gator football with Dave Waters from Gators Breakdown. It is time to discuss big picture. So people talk about the hot seat and does he need 6 wins? Does he need more than 6 wins? What are your thoughts on all of that outside noise before the season gets underway?
Yes, he needs 6 wins. I will say that. For me personally, I think 7 or 8 to make me feel better about the direction of the program. I know the schedule's tough, but I do think this is a roster you've built in your image. This is year 3. If this thing is headed in the right direction, if all the building blocks that you have put forth up until this point, they should be paying off, and they should equal wins. I get it. It is a tough schedule, but you can't hide behind that. Eventually, this thing has to turn around. Eventually, wins have to mean something. Year 1, you can go back and look at it. There's all kinds of excuses. Year 1s are weird everywhere. Year 2, you took a step back in year 2, and a lot of teams, if you take a step forward, there are reasons for that. But at the same time, I think year 3, there's enough time now. There's not many excuses of what the previous coach left you. I don't buy into leaning on the schedule too much for a bad win-loss. To me, you got to start winning now. If this thing is headed in the right direction, we should be able to see it in the win column.
What is the most important game of the year to you?
Oh, I didn't do this I think it was about a couple months ago. And I look at it a bit different. To me, you can go Miami, and you'll be right in a lot of ways. And I know I'll go off the beaten path here a little bit. I go Kentucky. And it's right before that horrible 5-game stretch to end the season. Yeah. But also, it's been a really good indication of what type of team Florida will have in the Kentucky game in recent history. It's given us a pretty good indication. Kentucky's beaten one good Florida team since they've been competitive with Florida. That was back in 2018. Mm-hmm. Every other win they've had against the Florida team has been a pretty bad Florida team. So it's been a pretty good indication of the type of season Florida will have lately. So, 2020, Florida got that win there, a much better season. But it's been back and forth, since 2018 with Florida and Kentucky. So I think it gives us a pretty good indication of the type of team Florida will have. That Miami game is certainly important in a lot of ways. You might still label that the most important game, but I think the game that's going to tell us the most about Florida is going to be that Kentucky game.
All right, guys. Dave's bellwether game is Kentucky.
Which is weird to say, by the way.
But I agree. Miami and Kentucky are the two that I have had circled for different reasons. I think if you don't beat Miami out the gate, it's hard to find those wins down the line. Kentucky, I think you're going to need that momentum going into a stretch where you may win none, you may win 1, you may win 2. You're probably not winning more than that. And I just think you're supposed to win the games that you are supposed to win. And Kentucky is one of those, and we haven't taken care of business there. But what's the game that we're looking at as probably a likely loss that UF might actually have a great chance to win?
I go LSU. They lost so much from that offense that was just able to go up and down the field almost on everybody last year. You get them at home. So I think and their schedule's not that tough. For an SEC team, it's not that tough. So I think later on in the year, I think there's some question with Garrett Nussmeier. I know he's played well in the times that he's been able to play, but it's different when you're the guy. Yeah. Things change when you're the guy. So and look, I like Brian Kelly as a coach. I think he gets a lot of flack for the type of coach he is. I think he's a great head coach. But at the same time, I think they've lost a lot. They still have questions on defense. I know they brought in Missouri's defensive coordinator Baker to make a whole ton of changes on that side of the ball. But can they make those changes fast enough to really, to me, I think they'll be a good offense. They'll be nothing like they were last year. A great offensive line, but some questions at running back, I still think. And then, like I said, that passing game, Jaden Daniels did so much for that team. A lot of the rushing offense was him, and now he's gone. So I think LSU coming into the swamp is that really game I look forward to late in the season where not many people picking Florida, but I feel better about that game coming into the season right now.
Okay, so other side of the coin. Is there a game that you think we're counting as a fairly certain win that actually really concerns you? I'll get right back to chatting with Dave, but we are less than 2 weeks away from UF's kickoff against Miami. If you are looking for a new sports book this season, BetUS is the answer. They have the fastest payouts in the industry, as well as a 125% sign-up bonus, up to $2,000 on your first 3 deposits. There is also a 200% crypto deposit bonus. You can see right here, they have the Miami versus the UF line ready to go. So I'm leaning the Gators in this game, so jump on board and make some money with me. The link is in the description of the video. Don't miss out.
Well, there's not many that you can say that you feel great about a win for right now. But I will go, and even if Florida was an average team this year, I think I still go Mississippi State. Florida going to Starkville has been an issue for so long. I know Dan Mullen
from 2004.
Yeah, and Dan Mullen returned in his first year and escaped with a win there. But the reason I look at it, it's first of all, I mean, I don't want to go down this route, but it may be a must win if you lose to Miami and Texas A&M because those are 2 good opponents. You're going to need that win. I think, to get some good feeling back into the program. No, but at the same time, Florida's had a lot of road woes under Billy Napier. Mm-hmm. And that's a team I think you should beat. A team, I think if you play your game, you should win. But the road issues under Billy Napier and just, Florida's history in Starkville, not all that great. So I certainly say, of a team that I think Florida should beat, that game being in Starkville with those Cowbells, that's a worry.
Okay, so Chris Dorian.
Not a worry, but if I had to pick one,
that'd be what you pick.
That'd be one, yeah.
So Chris Dorian asked me this last week. What is UF's home record in 2024?
So 7 home games?
Yep.
Okay. Miami, A&M. So, I mean, I have Florida, those 2 big games. So starting 3-0 because I know Sanford's in there as well.
UCF week 5.
UCF week 5. So that's 4. Tennessee on the road. Kentucky.
At home.
Yep, 6.
Mm-hmm. You get LSU and Ole Miss.
Man, with the way I was talking about LSU, I guess I got to go 6-1.
All right.
I guess I have to go 6-1, don't I?
Yeah.
The way I talked about LSU, yeah.
Look at you being so positive. All right, so what's their record against the in-state teams? You already told me 2 of them.
Yeah. Yep. Man, that FSU game's such a being late in the year. I'm torn on that one. I don't know what either team would be. Get 12 games in. Heck, I just said you got to beat Miami and UCF at home. So there's 2-0.
Yeah.
I got to see it right now. I'll go 2-1. I got to see Florida, be that team that can beat FSU towards given what we've seen the last couple of years. And I think he played pretty well in Tallahassee a couple years ago till you were scoring up and down the field with them. A lot of big plays with Anthony Richardson and Ricky Pearsall. And then last year, could have, should have, would have won that game in a lot of ways. Certainly couldn't keep up on offense with Max Brown at quarterback. But yeah, until Florida beats FSU, I think if you look at a state record, 2-1 is probably where I'd go.
All right, so then that brings your overall record to what?
It's weird. I'm trying to think of how I break up the schedule in my head. I go 7-5, 8-4 in my head overall. That's just about where I'm at with this team. I think to me, I feel if I feel so weird about a team where I say the ceiling is 8 and maybe the floor is 6. Like it's usually more than that. Oh, I can see this team winning 9 games, or I can see them going 5. Personally for me, and I know Florida's won 6 games and 5 games the last couple of years. I personally can't get below 6. I still think there's a lot of talent on this team. Yeah. I know the schedule's tough. I still like the talent on this team. I think coaching is my biggest question. Game day situations are my biggest question about this program right now. So, my personal floor is 6. My personal high is 8. I can't see more than 8. So maybe I just go in between and I'll go 7 and 5.
All right, Dave, this has been a blast. Tell everybody where they can find you on social media and where they can check out your work.
Yeah, Allie, thanks for having me again. At GatorDave_SEC on social media. And, of course, YouTube, podcast platform, all that's the good stuff out there is where you can find Gators Breakdown.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. I'm sure we will talk to you again in the season. We have almost made it.
Almost. Who knows? All these predictions will probably change so much in the next couple of weeks.
Well, it's talking season, right? We have to wrap up talking season before we can get to playing season.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I appreciate you.
Thank you.